Hi, this is Hans the Great recording a video for the course Doubler 6 Max Winrate on bestpokercoaching.com. Today the topic will be c-betting, spots where to c-bet, and the sizing of the c-bets. This is part of the lesson 7, c-betting part 2. So let's get straight to the action. What I also want to say, this video is gonna be around 30 minutes at least, so hopefully we're gonna see spots where we could definitely take the new knowledge that I learned in the course. Just to review, I'm gonna try always to remind myself that there are three important factors when deciding to c-bet or not to c-bet. First of all, it's gonna be it's gonna be my hand strength from a scale from 1 to 10, so we can maybe decide the board, dry, weak, and how it correlates to the range of my opponent. And the third thing is gonna be the villain. So yeah, let's see what we can get. I think I can also show here how I applied, especially regarding to the steals, how I implemented into my game. I think both guys are folding like 81, so I would even consider opening this 8-4 with a min raise, most likely. I do have to admit we're gonna kinda have here. I don't mind opening a bit bigger this hands against the fish, because I'm most likely assuming that the fish is a decent amount of time he's gonna just check fold. His fold to c-bet is like 69% out of position, so I'm just gonna make it half pot here. I think it should be fairly enough to take it down. Even I would assume that it hit decently his range. I mean, decent part of his range are gonna be broadways, so yeah. But we still have a gut shot, so we have some sort of equity in the hand. We're gonna check behind, because I think with the 10 he's not gonna definitely fold anything. And once, I think, given the stats that we have, he's gonna have at least some sort on the flop that might play it this way. Okay, once he bets, I think we have fairly easy fold, and I don't think there's any other play besides folding here. It might happen that a decent amount of time I'm gonna have a bit of technical issues here, so please apologize for that. This is rather my hand. I have a gut shot. I have a couple of overs. I have one over, one jack is maybe as well. I have a backdoor flush draw. So my hand ranging from 1 to 10 is gonna be a 5. The board is rather dry. I would say something like a 4. And think I don't need to bet here big. I think making $2 is fairly fine. The only thing what would a little bit worried me is raise c-bet from the big blind, like 15%, but I think I would most likely call his raise c-bet. But I think the point here is that we can definitely explore c-bet all day long when this player is out of position, because he folds like a ton. So basically that's where we make our value. But still, I think if he would have check raised, I would still. It depends on the sizing. I guess if you make it like too big, there's no way for me to continue. But if he gives like good odds, I might most likely even consider continuing the hand. Because I assume, as we can see, his turn c-bet is like a bit weaker, so he's not gonna bet with air, most likely, as well. His turn aggression decreases a lot, so he's at decent amount of time gonna check fold the river if his check raise flop didn't work out. That's technical problems that I mentioned. My internet connection is a bit lagging here. I think opening is fairly standard. The pocket sevens, well, I think I'm gonna just flat. I don't know much about the opponent, so yeah. I think betting here for me is like quite standard. I mean, I could definitely bet for. I'm definitely betting here for value, although I would not like to see a check raise here. I don't have much information or any information about the player, and this is a hand. This is a card which I do not like at all. Simply because I think this check calling range is gonna contain a lot of a6 hands. So if he leads out on the river, I think can definitely have a fold unless, of course. So yeah, let's see what the guy has. Jacks, well, yeah. Jack 9 here, let's see, fold to 3-bet. Vasari steal fold, total. On this board, against this player, I don't know if I have information, but seems like passive. Here I'm gonna defend my Jack 9 against this player. The plan, we hit a Jack. As I said, this player bet once, he didn't bet. I'm definitely gonna bet here. Against Prot, we could definitely make it a bit smaller. He's also multi-taping, so he's gonna fold a decent amount of time. Here I'm leading out with my Jack, and I'm betting it, hopefully for value. Oh, this is something I overlooked. I didn't saw that this player is as well, but I think, anyway, since nobody took a stab on the flop, I mean, this guy didn't see it, the small blind didn't bet, so I would say that I think betting leading out after both guys checked once, twice, and the PFR once, we can definitely assume that our hand should be ahead there, so yeah. We do not have any information about this player, but since he's in passive, might get free cards, and I don't even have to play passively. This is a board he c-bet, since we're now low. C-bet out of in position, he folds, he checks back. The question is now, should I even dunk it out? Well, yeah, I think I have even a backdoor. So, and he still might find a call with 3-4s as a bluff catcher. I mean, I don't know, and what's also most important, I don't expect him to bluff the river here as a decent amount of time. So, once the queen comes down, definitely he didn't show any strength at all. I think I can definitely bet. What do I want to call? Well, obviously his calling range and the call is gonna contain not an ace most likely, but sometimes he will have it. And I do want to call from pocket pairs and hero calls, so yeah, I'm gonna bet it like 7, 6, 8, 2. Sounds like a decent sizing. So pocket pairs might find a hero call as well. Fairly standard c-bet for value. Our hand is quite strong. The board is draw heavy because there's a lot of hands that could call in this flop. Our villain doesn't check raise much. check raise basically like, as we can see that out of position. Raise c-bet out of position like 14%. I think flatting here once should, but we have to take a look at his on the turn, and on the river he's gonna calm down, so I think we can have here a fairly decent check call. And of course this is like one of the worst cards in the deck. I mean, besides 9-10, I do not beat much, and he may do it even from time to time with top pair, so I think check call folding here should be fine as well. Um, if I would have a spade, I might even consider calling. I mean, on the turn, complete some 6-7, some gut shots as well. We still don't have ace-jack, so he might even raise some ace-jack there for value, maybe even some king-jack, so our kicker is not as well pretty good. If it would have at least a spade, I might even consider calling, since the odds are quite good to call there. But this wise, a spade is gonna kill as well my action, so pretty much I prefer to lay it down on the turn. But it's true that if the turn would be like a 4 again, I would call and expect him to actually, due to his low river c-bet, I would expect him to fold. To check fold if he doesn't have, or I mean, just simply give up the hand, his draws, if he of course missed the draws. If he would have jammed, I fairly think that he's gonna have most likely there a hand a decent amount of time. 9-5, well yeah, we're looking for both guys to fold, and hopefully we're gonna find at the end of fold. 7-5 here, queen 10 off. I think calling should be fine. We could argue about 3-betting, but I would prefer rather having here, of course, some sort of c-bets into me. And let's take on the turn in position, he's gonna bet it most likely of the time again, which kind of means that now we're going for definitely for a check raise there, because most of the time he's gonna bet, so there's no need to dunk out for us here. I would dunk if the player has like a pretty low turn c-bet, which is like now, which is in this particular spot not really the case. Well, yeah, about my sizing, we can definitely argue about that. It could be bigger, but I don't want to actually create a super big pot and go broke here. And once he 3-bets me, I'm still gonna flat. And now the big problem is, what exactly do I expect him to have on the river? Well, it's kind of like a pretty dumb spot here. He jams. Well, yeah, it's basically the case that we're up. Jack 10 is capable. Well, yeah, stupid play of mine, didn't find a fold. play the hand good until the point when he 3-bets my until the point where he 3-bets my check raise on the turn. I mean, he has simply to be crazy to actually 3-bet there. We are 3-bet here, squeezed by the button, and it seems like from his sizing like a bigger squeeze, so I'm kinda even inclined to lay down my ace queen. This is actually one of the spots where I could definitely have problems with myself, where I simply have a really super hard time folding, especially button versus blinds. I have like a huge problem folding there, like in this particular spot. Uh, Pretty strong hand that once we get 3-betted is not like really worth, and that's kind of even of a fishy move of mine, which I did. So yeah, I mean, there is basically 0 point that he has there a bluff. So yeah, kind of a bit of dumb from me, but let's hope it doesn't continue this way, and let's learn from the mistakes. That's a bit of the problem. I mean, you basically would tell the people the question. I don't think the player is capable of. Um, I don't think that the player is like capable of. Well, their. I mean, 1 out of 100 cases is gonna ever 3-bet there as bluff and jam the red. I mean, 1 out of 100 cases, and he's gonna come there enough of the time up with some king. I don't know, with some jack 10 or something similar, way too often for me to profitably call this off overall. I mean, this is kind of huge crap what we currently have. I mean, my connection seems like fine, but we're gonna make it big. Hopefully it did take that into account. Um, let's see if any of them calls. No, not really. So yeah, 10, 8 of diamonds. Is of course for me a standard open from the. I mean, I don't like the word standard, but I kind of use it. Kind of get bumped up into my brain. So here I'm gonna 3-bet. Hate me again. If the fish were still here, and he kind of left, I would most likely just flat. This way I'm 3-betting, trying to take it down. So yeah, I pocket aces, I guess 5x. Also the guy doesn't have like a huge stack, so we're gonna anyway get it in on the turn, no matter I think what board comes. So and he folds right away. Pocket sevens is of course a fine. It's open from the button. Tricks. I'm actually hoping that the big blind jams here in particular. Well, he doesn't, um, but it's certain thing that there is no chance that we can ever fold this against such a stack. crushed like big time, and we're actually just hoping for a runner, which we do not hit. So yeah, it's like not really a spot where I would like, but at the same time, I don't think there is a chance for me to fold a hand. I mean, since he folds a lot to 3 bets, I would prefer, and also I do not, assuming most people are not opening this. I'm gonna check back this board. Fuck. I'm gonna check back this board. I would actually would love to lead out this board because if he calls my check raise, I'm gonna isolate myself a decent amount of time against a pretty strong range, especially if he calls me. So yeah. Now I'm gonna check behind again. I also looks like, and I'm gonna bet it here now. Polarized. I also took a note lately that the guy likes to. And he called me instantly. Let's see if he called me. I didn't saw. Looks like he did. Because of the last time where I overpotted. And he as well bluff catched with some middle pair, or I think bottom pair it was. Anyway, so I think that's why I made the overpot bet. Pretty sure that he's gonna call there with some pocket pairs, which in this case was sixes. I think we don't have like a super huge hand, but we have a fish and the regular, and we have, I think, position, which might even make me inclined here to join the hand. Here I'm gonna just try to take a stab on the fish, pots it here, and he basically never calls. I mean, we are gonna take the odd as well. Well, if the fish jams here, I'm not gonna be like super thrilled about it, because he's most likely gonna have me beat, but I should have like a decent amount of equity there. I think I wanna get the fish in here. I have top pair. I have a backdoor. I have a flush draw as well. So I would love if the fish with some pocket nines or pocket eights, if he has there. If we come along, here I'm gonna bet almost pot against Pomerantsev. And everybody folds, which is, we definitely do not mind there. I think I should still have enough of equity to justify my bet on the turn. I mean, I was actually hoping mostly for the fish to jam, that he cannot give up his 8-7s, or maybe some 6-7, or whatever he has there, maybe some pair of 5s. I mean, 2 pair. Here against Sardov, I'm just gonna make a min raise and trying to steal the pot. Also, we might even try to take it down on the flop. Fold to c-bet seems like pretty decent. Still to bet it like half pot. So yeah, overall the guy is like super. This guy, as we saw it, this guy, and I think he's folding still enough to make my deuce 9 here profitable to open. Tiltmansky I'm gonna 3-bet and call a 4-bet. I think 3-betting should be over calling here. I mean, um, our hand is, my opinion, here way too strong against an unknown to call. So yeah, basically. Here, Jack 9 suited. I'm gonna ISO raise the player. Here, our hand, we have a gut shot, we have over, so our hand is like not super strong. I would say he's the mediocre. The board is either, oh no, but yeah, we hit the nuts here. We have a dry board. The open seems like a station, so I think a half pot C bet, and our hand is as well not that strong. Here, I'm gonna definitely pot it now. Here we hit the jackpot. I think we can here definitely give him like odds so he can call once again. It's a way that you most likely get that the fish is in. He calls, so I hope he has some queen 10 aces. Yeah, he fucked it up a bit, but yeah. Anyway, so and here I'm gonna squeeze against Beejamont and Timaskin. 6.3. We're gonna squeeze. I think both have like super wide ranges here. I mean, this guy has definitely a wide range, and this guy seems new to the table. I don't know him. It seems like also he didn't play in the last days since I got out of my hands. That's why the sample size are such big, so big, I guess. Looks like are still not good enough. Um, on this board, um, I don't think that we have catched much. We have a gut shot, so it's not like worth much, and we're gonna try mainly to fold out his pocket pairs. Maybe some gut shots. Once the ace hits, I think it's still a call here. Uh, and we have like third nut flush draw, which is not like super awesome, but I think if we jam here, I mean the stack size are rather awkward, so once he bets here, once he checks behind there, here we can increase our 3-betting range and bet here like for value. And here I think we can definitely bet like 10 bucks and hopefully do not see a jam, because if it jams I think that he's gonna have us crushed. The guy seems like to be rather some sort of station, and I don't think he's gonna give up here any, because once the ace hits, I hope that he has something like queen 10, king jack, or something similar. Here I'm 3-betting my ace 10 for value actually. Why? Because I think his range is very wide and he doesn't fold to c-bet. So yeah, well, it looks like our time bank is out. I think we could have still done this, and yeah, now that we fucked up the hand, I think I have to fold. There's no other way for me. I certainly think that we definitely should have bet 60%. We might have even take it right away, but yeah. This guy seems to be folding 60%, so we have just a gut shot, not worth much. The board is rather a bit of drawy on the drawy side, but not much, and the opponent is like folding to c-bet, so yeah, sounds like a decent spot to c-bet. Once we get called, I mean, his range is kinda on this flop very wide, and I don't think that we are ever gonna make him fold um, a draw here, so we're gonna check it, and if he checks back the river, we're gonna take a stab here. But he decides to take a stab, so yeah, we're just gonna leave it. Nothing is offensive. I did the fancy play already. Messed up a bit the video, but I guess should be fine. Tens are gonna be an open. I'm get jammed by prod here. Pocket fives against kings. Yeah. Go against queens. Well, yeah, it's anyway for like a couple of big points, not that much. And we won it. Didn't see such a river. Sadly the fish is not coming along, which we were hoping for. I guess the video is long enough now, so I'm gonna pretty much start closing the tables. I have to admit I didn't have that. We're gonna play. Okay, we're still gonna play one, alright. I'd have to admit I didn't have that much spots where I could have. Also, my time back is due to my connection like really out, and it timed out a lot of time. So yeah, it's not like the super awesome spot where you want to find myself. Here, I'm gonna 4-bet it. I'm gonna 3-bet it actually. 10-6. The guy doesn't c-bet a lot, so we might take it on the flop. That's why we're gonna defend it here. Oops, I missed a bit. I thought it's blinds versus blinds, so it isn't. So I think I would have actually folds once he doesn't c-bet. I'm gonna try to take it on the turn. What's the sizing? The deuce didn't improve his range, I think that's for sure. He calls, and jack is like not the greatest hand here. It completes his backdoor flush draw, and I think his check calling range is gonna be something like 10-9, 8, some sort of 8. So pretty much I would expect it's not gonna fold anything on the river, what I called. I mean, yeah, he most likely would even call here with ace high, so we could argue about that, but I think the mistake has been simply made pre-flop, where I overlooked that the guy was. I mean, we're gonna do this round and then I'm out. I'm not really happy how I played this session. Also, due to technical issues as well, I wasn't happy with my play, especially with the 3-bet. I mean, I'm not getting 3-bet on after I check raise the turn with with air. That's definitely, and most likely our weaker tens are most likely just gonna flat my check raise. So yeah, I think I made a mistake. I mean, I acted like ended up fishy. I fall in love with my three of a kind, most likely just because it was button versus blind. So yeah. I'm just gonna fold the hand. Let's see, one last hand. If we didn't get it, that's it, I guess. But anyway.